perfect weather for a yard sale, right? Well, it's indoors, so that's good. We are at the Allentown Fairgrounds Ag Hall Super Gigantic Yard Sale. Welcome to the Super Gigantic Garage Sale, Yard Sale. This sale reminded me of a flea market slash shopping at an antique mall where each seller's booth has a variety of items from the newer to the vintage, retro, and antiques. And as you will see, there was a lot of different stuff here. Some priced for the collector, some priced for the reseller, and others priced for the gift giver. So there's a little something for everyone. My first purchase of the day was this little guy, a vintage Easter bunny, $2. I don't have one like this. I really liked the light pastel color and the look of it, and for $2, why not? It seemed that a lot of sellers had their vintage Easter out. I don't recall seeing that much vintage Christmas, but we do have a wise man. He was actually purchased earlier, and the person came back and bought him. He was a great blow mold. But yes, I didn't see that much vintage Christmas. Vintage Easter, Easter's just a few days away, so that's probably why they had all their Easter out. Most booths had items priced, others did not, but I think the majority did have price tags on them, so you knew how much something was beforehand. We do have paper, $1 each. I say that that is a great price. You can't go wrong at that price to look and see if there's anything that you could use, whether you use it for a junk journal or for your own personal collection. I do love these advertising blotters. Flavoring extracts. Wonder what those tasted like back in the day. We even have an older letter. Many different things, scarves, tchotchkes, purses. There were some vendors selling clothing, some newer items, some jewelry booths that were newer jewelry, and then some with costume jewelry. So if you are in the Allentown, Lehigh Valley area and you would like to attend this, I believe they hold it twice a year, maybe 3 times a year. If you go on the Allentown Fairgrounds or Ag Hall website, then you'll be able to see the schedule. Ag Hall actually holds a lot of different events, including an ephemera show, which I've been to a couple of times. So this seller had all sorts of dolls. We have a little bag filled with all little bits and bobs to put in doll houses, or just little figures that she threw into a bag. Oh, there's Ken. Good old Ken. A mixture of antique to vintage to newer dolls and Barbies. These look like the Barbies that I had when I was younger from the 80s and the 90s. And a whole box of dollhouse furniture. So those that love the little minis, here you go. Oh, speaking of minis, that was a minifig. Maybe I should have scanned that guy to see what he's worth. Oh, Annie and Sandy. This bin actually had a whole bunch of little Orphan Annie items. I did look up the keychain just in case, but I think on eBay they were selling for between $5 to $7. But for the Annie collector, you have it here at the market. It's probably a little bit cheaper than eBay prices, so why not pick it up? Here we have another Orphan Annie applause pin. And then I even found, oh, gotta dig, that poor guy fell, an Annie soundtrack cassette tape. Who remembers cassette tapes? So here we have a jewelry vendor. All they had was jewelry, from earrings to pins to bracelets to necklaces. And it seemed like most people really enjoyed sifting through and seeing what they could find. I found this little guy, just have to do some untangling. It is a child's charm bracelet, and there was even a bunny in a little Easter basket. There's some paint still left on it. I thought it was really cute, so I picked that up, and then I kept looking to see what else I could find. But again, perfect for those that like vintage to costume jewelry, or those that like to repurpose jewelry into new jewelry that they make, or even add to their junk journals as well. Bracelets too, so many bracelets. She always had a lot of people at her tables and was very pleasant to work with. Now this seller is actually at my flea market occasionally. I recognize them by their tables. They have a $10 table, a $5 table, and then they usually have a $1 section. So I believe that they probably do a couple of these shows, and then at the end of the year, before my flea market closes, whatever doesn't sell or hasn't sold at these shows, they mark them down to $1. And let me tell you, they get rid of much of their inventory by doing that. And I think that it's a great way. They've made their money on the other items that have sold for more money. They've gotten their profit. And to get rid of inventory before the flea market season or antique show season slows down, they just mark things down to $1 and they make their money from there. It's easy to imagine how much money you can make by selling things at $1. I think more people are inclined to buy things they may not necessarily need. We have some chocolate molds, rather cute. We have another assortment of all sorts of things, and then we have some Easter displays. We have some chicks, some rabbits. I thought this egg was really cute and a great idea for crafters. You have the beads and then the little die cut in the middle. Put that guy back. I did not pick it up. I wish I would have bought it. That great Valentine. You have some other Valentines, a crystal tree. I actually have one of those in the original box. We have some other child's toy furniture, chalkboard, another little doll set, a whole bunch of really nice stuff to look at the sale. And we even have some old books. The color printer for $550 and a 1798 Bible from Germany for $700. That is actually around the going price online. Some have sold for a little bit cheaper. Wish it would have been a Gutenberg. If I would find a Gutenberg at the gigantic yard sale, that would probably be the best find ever at a yard sale. Now we have the containers filled with all sorts of things. Most items in the container were marked with a price tag, so that must have taken a while to set everything up. But I'm sure that if you would purchase a handful of things, the price would have been cheaper if you did a little bundle deal. But I do enjoy looking through these little boxes and seeing what you can find. The seller had a lot of interesting items. Now we move on to the political pin backs. We have other pin backs. Everything was priced, everything was sorted. Their stand was filled with all types of these items. So I'm assuming that they probably go to a lot of antique shows and they do the majority of their sales there. I think sellers like this probably come to a show like this to kind of branch out and allow perhaps those that don't attend antique shows to see what they would find if they went to one. So everything was well organized, everything was priced, and just really nice to look at. And look, this pup, dressed up as the Easter Bunny, he did not look happy at all, but he just sat there. What a good dog. Oh, the Smurfs. We have the Smurfs again. They've been making another appearance. Have your wrestlers. The seller had a lot of vintage items, including the Strawberry Shortcake dolls. I loved Strawberry Shortcake. I loved her. I grew up with her. Still have all of my Strawberry Shortcake toys. I did not see those lions and the other animals on that back shelf until I was editing, and I wish I would have taken a closer look because they actually look really cool, and I may have purchased one. We have some Castle films, the reels, Robin Hood. Now this whole time I was wondering, would I find something with Yellowstone? And this was the last booth, and look at this. Look at this. What is it? The first page had the Buffalo Bill Museum, and now we have, yes, Yellowstone. I found a Cody, Wyoming and Yellowstone photo album. Needless to say, this went home with me. I was so excited to find it. Now, across from Ag Hall, you have the Farmers Market, and this is Mary Ann's Donut Kitchen. I hear rave reviews about them, so I had to go and try one. I, of course, went with something plain. We went with the classic glazed at the Mary Ann's Donut Kitchen. They had so many different flavors. I've never had their donuts before, so we're gonna start out trying the glazed. That was my first time at the super gigantic yard sale at Ag Hall at Allentown Fairgrounds. It has been in this area for several years. I never have went, and I think probably because I've had an auction or an estate sale to go to on the days that it is open, but a lot of people selling, a lot of shoppers, and then you just head on over to the Allentown Farmers Market and get yourself a donut from Mary Ann's Donut Kitchen. Ooh, I got the glazed, like to try out their glazed first, and it was great. It was airy, it was light. It reminded me of the donut place at Leesport Farmers Market that is not there anymore. So next time I go back, I will go and get some other kind of donut. But yeah, the Allentown Farmers Market, meats, produce, baked goods, so much good stuff. But let's get back to the yard sale. Lots of people set up. I saw some people that sell at the flea market. I saw some people that buy from the flea market. And you had an array of items from newer things, probably purchased at pallet auctions where it's, you know, leftovers from Target, Walgreens, etc. You had antiques, you had vintage, retro, you had the dog. Hopefully I got that on camera, the dog that was dressed up as the Easter Bunny. They did not look happy to be there, but just an array of items. And I came back with a few things. I think many people there are resellers of some sort that are selling, whether, you know, they do couponing and they buy clearance, or they just buy strictly clearance, like the toys and household goods, or they have an antique shop or an antique booth, and this is just another way to perhaps clear out some of their items. Or maybe they hold regular yard sales at their house or townwide yard sales, and going to this is a way to reach more people. Prices were, again, an array of prices all over the board, from your antique, you know, collectible prices. There was a person that was set up that had so many pins and pin backs, you know, from political to music, a crazy collection. And their prices reflected the actual value of those items. But for a collector to be able to go to a setup like this and know, hey, that vendor's going to be there. They said that they were going to look for this certain political pin that I've been looking for. Maybe they have it. It's a great place to go. What did I buy? Well, only a few things. We started off with this little cutie rabbit, perfect for Easter. There were a lot of vintage Easter decorations, decor. For vintage Christmas, I didn't see that much. Maybe it was all gone by the time I got there. Maybe they just hadn't put it out. I don't know, but we got this little cutie for $2. If I had one of my vintage eggs out, put it in there. You could put some of your Easter grass, you could put some little candies, lollipops, but I liked the look. It's a pink like crackle, and for $2 I thought I could not go wrong. Then there was a person that had all sorts of jewelry just laid out all over, and you could take your time and look through and see what you liked. And her prices were reasonable too. The first item that I picked up was this little charm, very little charm bracelet. You're probably not going to be able to see it, but there's even an Easter basket with a little bunny. We have a rooster, a duck, and then, what is that? Another little duck. Definitely, I don't think, that's not gonna fit on my wrist. We got that. I found this guy. What a sad, sad boy. So it has a picture in there. His face has been kind of scratched out. And then it would have been a pin, but the pin part is long gone. We got that. I also found this. So it's a keychain that does have keys, but again, it's a little, I think this is, it's so cute. It's a little photo keychain. One side and two side. So after all these years that the photo has stayed on there, and it was just sitting there. What else did we get? We got some other pieces. I love the look of these. The stones are a little worn. It's a little metal piece. This I thought was neat too. It's a star with a wing. So just a little variety of things. We even got a bee. We'll show you that one. Super cute. You know, where do these women get all this jewelry? I assume they probably buy in lots. They might go to estate sales and, you know, buy out the jewelry contents, and then they go through, most likely remove the silver and gold and any high-end jewelry items, and then they have all these great pieces left over, so why not take them to a flea market or a yard sale and sell them that way? Because many people love to pick through, and they have different purposes or uses for them, even if they are broken. But I thought, as I was walking through, I haven't seen any Yellowstone stuff. No pennants, no flags, no souvenir tchotchkes, nothing. And then one of the last booths that I went to, there was this album, and I opened up the first page, and right on the first page, Cody, Wyoming, Buffalo Bill Museum. I couldn't believe it. I was like, oh my gosh, what are the odds? And then the book has several photographs from all sorts of different places that they traveled, but we have the dam, and then they do have some pictures from Yellowstone. Here we have, this is the Castle Geyser. And in the back, there's even some with a bear. But then there's also Garden of the Gods, the Badlands. Would love to drive through the Badlands. And let me see. I won't bore you me trying to look. Yeah, bears in Yellowstone. So again, you have your, oh, there's bison too. So you have your classic cars, and then there's probably bears in the road there. But I think for me, this is the first, I'm trying to think. I think this might be the first album with Yellowstone photographs that I found personally out there at a yard sale, I guess. So I was really excited. Oh, here's another great shot of Old Faithful. First catch in Yellowstone. Oh no, fish caught in Yellowstone. It's a blurry fish. And then there's Old Faithful. But I asked the guy how much he wanted, and he said $12. And I said, sure. And then I told him how it was funny. I've been looking for something with Yellowstone throughout the whole entire day there. And he's like, yeah, there are some neat photos in there. So this was a great find, you know, for me. And then we have some postcards in the back. Add it to my Yellowstone collection. But interesting. I've never been to the sale before. I probably would go back. I know that people usually line up. It opens at 8 o'clock. It's a 2-day event. I assume on the second day, people might bring out some other items that didn't fit on their tables the first day. So it's interesting to see what people have, what people are buying, and what is kind of the in thing. There were a lot of Pokemon vendors, some retro gaming vendors. So it was a nice thing to do, a nice activity on a rainy day. And then you go over to the farmer's market and you get yourself a donut from Marianne's Donut Kitchen, and it was good. A rainy day spent indoors at the super gigantic yard sale at Ag Hall. It was a morning well spent. Just a wide variety of items that I think anyone could enjoy looking at, whether you're looking for something particular for yourself, perhaps to give to someone as a gift, or even as a reseller. As a reseller, it might be a little bit more difficult to, you know, find the deals, but I think that they are out there. It just depends on your niche. But as a collector and someone that just loves going to yard sales or estate sales, you have so many people in one building with all sorts of items, so you're sure to find something. Well, I hope you like this little yard sale adventure. Stay tuned for when we have nicer weather and actual yard sales start popping up. I will see you all next time for the next adventure at Paper and Moose. Thanks so much for joining me, and have a great day.